Are you losing 10, 20, maybe even 30 more yards off your drive as you get older? The thing is, losing distance is one of the toughest realities in golf. As we get older, perhaps we are losing strength, mobility, and those long par fours are starting to get even longer. You see, the common advice is to hit the ball harder, get stronger, get fitter, improve your swing and be like Rory McIlroy or someone like that. The thing is, that is just not realistic.
I mean, that's not very realistic.
So at the Art of Simple Golf, we want to really try and do a better job for you to give you the modifications that maximize what you do already and what you can do well. And a lot of that can stem from just some little tweaks from your setup. Now, can that make all the difference? Yes, it can, when you understand why and how to implement it. So I wanted to share with you my good friend Alistair Davis. He has 3 very effective and yes, simple tips that you can try today that are going to give you that speed and that better launch, especially with the driver. These tiny changes in one swing feel really does make a difference. So without further ado, over to you, Alistair.
Thanks, Alex. So let's look at how we can stop losing distance as we get older. Unfortunately, we're all getting older. Now for me, when we get older, one of the biggest things that changes is our mobility, our ability to move our body around basically and move laterally particularly hard as you get older, according to all the research and science I've done. So let's make a few adaptations that allow us to hit this driver further. What we're going to do first of all is take our stance width, which is normally shoulder width apart, and go a few inches narrower. Having a slightly narrower stance is going to make it easier to rotate. I'm also at the setup then going to ask you to move your right foot back about 2 inches. No more than that, just 2 inches. And I'm also asking you to flare the right foot about 20 degrees and the left foot probably about 30 degrees. Okay. Now, pulling the right foot back and flaring it makes it harder for us to get through the golf ball, no doubt, but it makes it easier to get behind the golf ball. Now, getting behind the golf ball, shift our mass behind the golf ball with the driver is essential, and also we want to try and hit it from the inside. So we don't turn behind the golf ball, swinging it from the inside becomes really challenging. So with this club, I'm more than happy with us to focus on getting behind the golf ball, swinging from the inside almost as much as we can, and almost releasing these arms and hands in a throwing kind of action through impact to maximize that club head speed. So let's go through the full steps. So setup, slightly narrower, flare the feet, draw the right foot back. I would like you to start with the club head behind the golf ball, about 6 to 8 inches. This again encourages us to hit from the inside and hit up on the golf ball. And we also want to make sure our head is positioned back there as well. Quite often with the driver, a lot of people get the head too much in line with the ball because that's where the ball's positioned. And what that causes then is you get your shoulders too level, and it causes you then to get your sternum too close to the golf ball. We want this sternum to be behind the golf ball. So when we do push off the ground, it's pushing back and the head stays back behind the golf ball to allow us to hit up on the ball. When you swing then, we're also going to try and feel that we preset our hip in a little bit of a closed position. Again, don't overdo this. 5, 6, 7 degrees, nothing scary. 5, 6, 7 degrees. Shoulders in a closed position. Setting up with the club head behind the ball also encourages that. And then from here, we look to swing back as quick as we can. Okay, and I did say that, quick as we can. We know the swing's not going to be as long as it was when we were a teenager. So quick swings help speed. So we're going to try and go quick, swing as far as we feel comfortable, feel our knees move, our hips move. If we need to, let the heel come off the ground so we get that big rotation, that big mass move. So we're trying to shift our sternum behind the golf ball. Feeling would almost be if my arm is out here, shift to reach that arm. That's where we want to go. And then from that position, then we're going to try and stay back and throw those arms towards target. So there's a few things there, but hopefully the setup stuff does a lot of freebies for us. The main thing you're thinking about in the swing, before people say there's a lot to think of, is swinging faster and then try and feel like we stay back. I am going to give you a practice swing that probably focuses on you swinging from the inside more, which you can also do, which will show you after hitting the shot, just doing that setup change. So again, feet together at the start maybe, tiny step, flare and pull back, club head behind the golf ball, swing fast, let the hips and shoulders all be pointing to the right, swing fast, and then let it go. And try and stay back. That one, beautiful little draw down the middle of the fairway. Now practice swing wise, what I'd like you to do is swing exaggerate it from the inside. So we take the same setup. Now I want you to swing at this direction. You see there where I hit the ground? It's kind of halfway between my toe and the ball to target line. And I want to feel that I'm going to splash the water, and today is a lot of frost out here today in England. We've got some dewy, frosty ground here. I'm trying to splash that water almost at my camera that is at right angles to this camera here. So really swinging it away there, kind of 3, 4 o'clock. And that again is going to encourage me just to get that club to swing more behind me. Now the science is the more the club head gets behind me, the more rotational force I'll create with the arms and club head and shaft, which creates more speed. So we're really trying to feel, can we go there? And also with the practice swings, can we get the club head, the toe of the club head to face more towards the ground here in order to make sure that I am releasing the loft, releasing the club head so I don't just hit big right shots. So we are looking for kind of big bomby draws if we like. Again, based on the average golfer fades the ball, so this will help them. Again, not worry too much of shifting the pressure through. Let's just try and feel we're going to do that swing now on the ball. So everything else stays the same. Foot back slightly, feet flared, stand behind the ball. Fast swing, swing in that direction. Beautiful. So really, really happy with that. So for me, the science of swinging faster, swinging back faster makes us swing faster on the way down. So that's something we should all be trying to do, especially if our swing's getting shorter. For me, with the driver, behind the ball, stay behind, helps us create that kind of difficulty in the mobility side of things. Now with an iron, when the ball's on the ground, we do need to get through the golf ball. So an iron, I'd have the foot set slightly less back. I'd still have it flared, but I'd also move the ball position back in the stance. So say if we have a 7-iron, I'd have it just right of center to make sure then we can get to the ball rather than have to worry about getting through. And possibly with an iron, one last little tweak, I'd probably just bump the hip a little bit more towards target so I've got that lateral bump preset to help me get that low point in the right place, as well as the other things we've talked about. So give that a go if you're looking to crease or maintain your distance as you get older, as age kicks in and bites us.
Thank you, Alistair. Now, one of the things I wanted to just address before we sign off for the day is he talked about some of these modifications to your setup, and that, you know, standing a little bit narrower for one thing. That is going to feel a little bit strange at first, but I urge you, it is one of the best ways to build up consistency for one thing, because you are going to be hitting the middle of the face more often, the more sort of centered you're going to be. The less lateral movement we're going to have, the more consistency we're going to have. The more consistency, the more center hits you're going to have, and the more reliable distance. Don't just poo-poo it when it doesn't work straight away. Give it a try. Use it today for the next couple of weeks. Stand a little bit narrower, feel a little bit more suppleness, and really trust that you can release through the ball, keeping that head back and hitting up on the driver to get that launch angle. Very simple, and I cannot wait to hear your results. Check out Alistair's channel and subscribe to him. But thank you for watching, and if you want to improve your iron game, this lesson is going to really help you get a little bit more height and a little bit better strikes without changing too much about your swing. Pretty good, right? See you next time.